Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining us today. Wanted to talk about some of the pastimes of Lord Jagannath, how he came about mainly. This verse talks about the bathing of Lord Jagannath, which took place on the day that of Snan Yatra, which is also regarded to be his appearance day. So I wanted to seek your blessings and good wishes so that we can please Lord Jagannath in our little way by remembering his pastimes. So this is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 121. Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda.
Punarapi nila chale gamane karila bhakta gane meli asnane yatra rekhila. After collecting these books, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri. At that time, the bathing ceremony of Jagannath was taking place and he saw it.
Very deep connection between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath, because it's one and the same person. So Jagannath Puri, as we know, is in Orissa, which is here in Bharat. And this is the Bay of Bengal, very crude picture, drawing. Jagannath temple is there. This is Jagannath Puri. Right. Whilst performing, so also Jagannath Puri is known as Purushottam Kshetra. Purush means Supreme Lord, Uttam, the best.
Can you tell some stories today?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Little bit later, yes?
Definitely. So Purush is male. Purush is male. And Prakriti is female. Uttam is the highest. So he is the highest personality. Purushottam. Kshetra is the place of. So Jagannath Puri is also known as Purushottam Kshetra. While performing his duty of secondary creation, Visarga, Lord Brahma became compassionate for the fallen souls. How will they ever come out of this samsara? So Brahma petitioned the Lord and he pleased the Lord. And he was informed by Vishnu that there is a very sacred place within this world, which is not under Lord Brahma's jurisdiction. It's called Purushottam Kshetra, present day Jagannath Puri. This is the home of Nilamadhav. And Nilamadhav is an extraordinarily beautiful deity. Four-armed sapphire-colored form of Vishnu. And he offers the souls a chance to attain love for the Lord. So Lord Vishnu advised Lord Brahma to visit this place. This is a little idea of the beauty of Nilamadhav. This is such an amazing painting. This is like a window into the spiritual world. Such a beautiful, beautiful painting. So Lord Brahma and Yamaraj, they went there and they saw a crow flying overhead. The crow touched the water of Rohini Kund and he immediately transformed into a four-handed form like that of Lord Vishnu and returned back to the spiritual world. Lord Brahma was ecstatic. However, Yamaraj was shocked. What's the point of my existence? He was thinking. I've come here. I am in this world to punish or reward even those who are pious and punish those who are impious. So Lakshmi Devi appeared and explained that no one has jurisdiction here and explained the glory of Purushottam Kshetra. And she described the pastimes of Markandeya Rishi, who was blessed with a long life of 7 kalpas. So that's 7 days of Lord Brahma. That's a long life. And also how the Dham, Jagannath Puri or Purushottam Kshetra, is shaped like a conch shell. So this is a little idea of Purushottam Kshetra, different holy places and its shape is like that of a conch shell. See, Tirthraj Mahodpati.
Roji, we can't hear you.
Oh, is everybody
Roji,
having?
now we can hear you.
Because I think maybe the internet connection is not so good. Okay, is it okay now, Rianch? Now we can't hear him. So I presume it's okay. Yeah?
Put in the chat.
Can
So
everybody hear
no one
us?
can hear us.
Or do we do it a different way? No, do it a different way.
All right. Sorry.
Recording in progress.
Roji, what is the point?
Can you hear us now?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhu, there
Krishna.
is an echo.
Is there still an echo?
No, now it's good.
Now
Okay.
it's clear.
Okay. So this, I don't know where I finished, but Lakshmi Devi is describing how Purushottam Kshetra is shaped like a conch shell. So this is an idea of the beautiful place of Jagannath Puri, shaped like a conch shell. So all these are different holy tirths, and so they've done this beautiful shape of a conch shell to fit around the holy places. They're all different holy places which are described here.
Sea.
And this is the sea. That's right.
Mahodpati is called.
Mahodudi, Tirthraj Mahodudi. And this is another idea of the Shank Khetram.
Kshetra.
Kshetram. So very nice. There's the Rath cards going to Gundicha, no doubt. Lakshmi informed Brahma that when he turns 50, Lord Brahma, which he's just turned 50, this is the first day of the 50th year, the deity of that great land, Nilamada, will disappear. And he will counsel King Indradumna to perform 1,000 yagyas, at the end of which the Lord will appear as Jagannath. So this is Lakshmi Devi's informing Brahma that you will be doing this, advising King Indradumna. So who was this King Indradumna? He was a great king in Satyayug, in Avantipur, that's northern Bharat. But he was very dissatisfied with the futility of life. He could understand that what is the purpose of existence? Even though I'm the king of the whole world, what is the point of material existence? So one day, a sage arrived at his kingdom. And as always, Indradumna would inquire from the sage about the purpose of existence and how futile life is in this world. So this sage, he advised him, his experience years before about this deity of Nilamadav and this land of Purushottam Kshetra. He also told him about its location. So this is the sage talking with Indradumna. So, but he didn't reveal exactly where he was. King Indradumna consulted with his chief minister and decided to send a learned Brahmin called Vidyapati, who was also the brother of the chief minister, to Purushottam Niladri, to find Nilmadhav. But this is quite a big place, not easy to find. After a long and difficult journey, he finally came across a tribe And the head of that tribe was Vishwavasu. And eventually he discovered that this Vishwavasu would every day secretly worship Nilamadhav. So this Vidyapati, he was very intelligent. He was a learned Brahmin. And he wanted to gain the trust because Vishwavasu wouldn't reveal where Nilamadhav was located. So Vidyapati stayed there and he married the daughter of Vishwavasu.
Lalita.
Very good. You can carry on. You want to tell some story?
Yes, Raj, I want to continue that story.
Go for it.
So one time Vidyapati requested his wife that please tell where your father goes every day. So Lalita told that my father goes to worship Nilamadhav deity. So Vishwavasu was very happy that he found Nilamadhav. And when Vishwavasu came to home, Vidyapati requested Vishwavasu to take him to the Nilamadhav deity. But the Vishwavasu told, but it is on one condition, that you have to be blindfolded, and there were some mustard seeds along the path. So you have to be blindfolded and follow me. And
So what he did, he put some mustard seeds in his
Yes.
pocket, right?
yes,
And as they were walking, he would
as they were
sprinkle.
walking, Vishwavasu threw the mustard seeds
That's
so that
right.
Vidyapati could follow.
No. It was Vidyapati who was sprinkling these mustard seeds along the path. Because what he was thinking was, okay, I am blindfolded, but later on, these mustard seeds will grow into trees. And I will be, even though I'm blind, I will be able to find the path. Makes sense, Riyaj? I think he might
Yes,
be able to.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you are stuck.
Okay. So you want to carry on? Have been worshipped by Vishwavasu.
Prabhuji, you have internet issue.
For a very long time. Right? Yeah. Don't worry. He also explained that the devatas would come every day and they would opulently worship Nilamadhav.
And they would offer bogas.
They would offer what?
Boga also. Boga.
Bhoga, yeah, that's right. So this is Vishwavasu.
Flowers and fruits.
However, knowing the prayers of King Indradumna, Nilamadhav spoke to Vishwavasu, the deity spoke, and he revealed his intention of accepting more opulent worship according to the desires of Indradumna. Vishwavasu, he was devastated. The deity was speaking to him, did not strike Vishwavasu as remarkable. He was too absorbed in grief at Nilamadhav's desire. And then he blamed Vidyapati for persuading Nilamadhav to accept Indradumna's worship, accusing the Brahmin of cheating him out of God's favor. So he tied him up.
Internet issue.
Everybody else can hear us?
It is stuck in sometime and it is coming back.
Is that
At
everybody
times
having
we
the
can't
same
hear
issue?
you.
You can't hear us?
Yeah,
Yes.
at times we can't hear you.
There must be some
Sometimes
issue
we can't
here.
hear you. Yes, the same internet is going.
I can hear you, okay?
We'll just
International people can't.
accusing the Brahman of cheating him out of God's favor. Vishwavasu bound him with ropes, and he bound him for quite some time. Eventually, the daughter, the wife of Vishwavasu, and the daughter of Vidyapati, what's his name?
Lakshmi. Vishwavasu is a father.
Oh, Vishwavasu, yeah. Vidyapati was the husband. So the daughter of Vishwavasu, she became very compassionate to her husband, Vidyapati, and he freed him. Now, this Vidyapati, he went back to Avantipur, to King Indradumna. And he told King Indradumna that I have found Nilamadhav and he's glorious and he wants you to worship him. Indradumna was ecstatic and he climbed onto his chariot and he led an army to the mountain. And now, of course, nobody knew where the deity was, but because Vidyapati had very cleverly put that trail of mustard seeds, there was now a trail of mustard plants, which led to the temple. So they found Nilamadhav, or they found the temple. They finally reached the temple door, only to discover that Nilamadhav had vanished. So that was the prediction by Lakshmi Devi, that after the 50th year of Lord Brahma, Nilamadhav would vanish. So it's true. Vishwavasu was suspected of removing the deity, and in his desperation to keep the Lord, he might have done anything. So they were all thinking like that. However, when they found the tribal chief, he was still mourning Nilamadhav's departure. Not believing his lament, they arrested Vishwavasu. But then Narad Muni arrived, the great sage, and he revealed exactly what happened to Nilamadhav. The Lord had withdrawn due to his own choosing via a cyclone, but he would reappear again in the form of Jagannath to bestow benedictions upon the entire world. This Jagannath is another form of Krishna, a very ecstatic form of Krishna. So, Indradumna meets Brahma. Whereas Nilamadhav had enjoyed the simple and intimate service of Vishwavasu, his appearance as Jagannath would be for the benefit of everyone and in the form of Daru Brahman. So, first, however, Narad Muni announced that a great temple must be constructed. Brahma, he also came, and then Brahma, chief of the demigods, would receive Indradumna on his own planet and plan for the sacred installation of Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. When the temple was finally completed, Narad Muni escorted Indradumna to his father's abode on Satya Loka. The home of Lord Brahma is inaccessible to ordinary human beings. But so great was Indradumna's devotion to God that even Lord Brahma was eager to meet him. Lord Brahma described how Jagannath would appear in a wooden form from a great Kalpavriksha tree transported from Shwetadweep. So this is all incredible pastimes of Lord Jagannath. This is even before Krishna appears in this world. So Jagannath is an eternal form. Brahma had performed sacrifices to please the Lord, 1,000 Ashwamedha sacrifices. So then he returned home, back to earth from Brahma's planet. He noticed things had changed. Though he had been away for what seemed a short time, the earth had aged many years. No one recognized him in his own kingdom, and his trusted priests, Vidyapati, had been replaced by another. So this is the thing about Lord Brahma. If anybody does go there, the danger is there 1 minute is equal to 100,000, or not 1 minute, 1 second is equal to 100,000 life years on earth. So you can't afford to spend too much time with Lord Brahma if you are attached to this, the world, this earth, and the relations we have here. Despite his hardship, Indradumna remained steadfast in his courage. He knew that God sometimes tests the love of his devotees by removing all other objects of affection. King Indradumna was determined to hasten the Lord's arrival by fasting, if necessary, until death. At the same time as Brahma had advised him, he performed 1,000 yagyas. So this is Indradumna and his Dharmapatni, and they were surrounded by sages performing this yagya. Then Mahavishnu and Lakshmi appeared in a dream to the king, and he was guided to a great log floating in the ocean. This was no ordinary tree. This was Kalpavriksha tree. This giant log had come uprooted from the spiritual sky, part of the same transcendental energy as the Lord's own body. So nobody could move it. It was very tough to move this log. Now, but a descendant of Vishwavasu, a tribal man, he stepped out from the crowd. He hugged this huge log, and with ease, he carried the sacred log.
I heard that the Lord told that only one descent from Vishwavasu and Vidyapati can lift this.
Absolutely. And even to this day, these people have a very huge input in the Jagannath temple, isn't it?
Yeah, because if you see when they bring out Jagannath, it's this tribe actually, who descendants of this tribe who actually allocated that role of bringing Jagannath out and taking him back in.
So no matter how hard that army tried, they couldn't lift that log. But this tribal man was given the privilege. So the descendants of Vishwavasu were given this privilege, and they still are to this day given that privilege. The greatest craftsmen in all the world assembled to carve the Lord's deity form, according to the scripture injunctions. But all their tools simply shattered to pieces. So you can imagine, it must be so disheartening. You're trying to make a deity, but your tools are just shattering. And then a mysterious old Brahmin appeared. He was Ananta Maharana. Actually, he's Vishwakarma. Who is the architect of the demigods. And he came and he carved the deity. But he said...
but on one condition.
What was the condition?
What was the condition means it would take 3 weeks and you should not open the door. If you open that, I will not come and the deities will remain like that forever.
Very good. And so what happened was, after 2 weeks, Indradumna Maharaj, he could not hear any noise from behind the door. And he was wondering what happened. Has he finished? So he opened the door and he saw, he was shocked. He saw 3 forms half completed. And he was really sad. He was thinking, what's happened here? I've really made a bad mistake. I've interrupted the carpenter, and the carpenter was nowhere to be seen. He's gone, the sculptor. Overcoming the restraint of priests and advisors, the king wrenched open to discover an unusual sight, a form of the deity never seen before. The Lord's form was apparently unfinished, having no hands, or legs. And the emperor feared he had made a great mistake in opening the doors too early. The aged sculptor had vanished. Indradumna felt ashamed. But then the savior of everyone, Narad Muni, he came and he said, "Oh, this is an interesting form. I've seen this before." In Dwarka. So this is not 5,000 years ago. This is way before. Long time before.
I know how Jagannath appeared.
Yeah, that's right. And then he tells that pastime of how Jagannath appears originally when he saw this original form of the Lord. So what happened? The residents of Dwarka, their mood is one of opulence, Aishwarya. They're in awe of the Lord. They don't have the same mood as the residents of Vrindavan. They worship Krishna as the Supreme Lord. But the Brijabasis, they don't worship Krishna as Supreme Lord. They worship Krishna as their most beloved. Vishnu is the Supreme, and he always protects my Krishna. That's their mood. But they love Krishna far more than Vishnu. The residents of Vrindavan are in the mood of sweetness, madhurya. They have a confidential relationship with Krishna that surpasses awe and reverence because it is based on friendship and love. They may not consider Krishna as a supreme even, but they know that this Krishna I cannot live without. He's the very basis of my life. One time in Dwarka, the queens asked, "So what is so special about Vrindavan and the Brijabasis that even when Krishna is with us, he always seems to be distracted. Sometimes he calls out in the middle of the night the name of Radha." So this is Rukmini and Satyabhama. They're telling Rohini, the mother of Balaram, they're sort of complaining. So what's a big deal about the Brijabasis? Sometimes Krishna is looking out on the window and he seems miles away and he's calling out, "Surabhi, Kalindi." Or he was sleeping, and he's calling out to Gomatas. Remember, Krishna can't live without Gomata. He's always thinking about Gomata. Or in the middle of the night, he'll wake up crying, "Radha, where are you?" We've got so much opulence in Dwarka. Everything is here. We've got palaces, we've got children, queens are here, all opulence is here. But somehow or other, he's always thinking about the Brijabasis. So they requested Rohini, who lived with Krishna when he was in Vrindavan, "Please tell us what's so special. They must be special because Krishna is always thinking about them. What is it that's so special about them?" So Rohini, she said to them that what I'm going to tell you is very confidential. Nobody should, especially Krishna and Balaram should not hear. So they put Subhadra at the door to stop anybody from entering. However, Krishna and Balaram, they came, they could hear Rohini. They came to the door and they stood on the left side of Subhadra and the right side of Subhadra. And they were listening. All three of them were listening. Even Subhadra was captivated. So while listening to Rohini's narration of Krishna's intimate Vrindavan past, so Rohini was saying how Krishna would play in the fields with the Gomatas, the Gopas, and all the gopis would be crying until Krishna came back from the forest. And when he came back, they would all be waiting for him just to cast a little vision on him, just to see him. And the Gopas would be crying at that time because now it was time to leave Krishna. And we'd only see him again in the morning. But the gopis would be ecstatic because he'd returned. So this way, Krishna, the pastimes were described by Rohini. And Krishna and Balaram and Subhadra became ecstatic. Their internal feelings were exhibited externally. Their eyes became dilated. Their heads compressed into their bodies. Their limbs retreated. The arms retreated. The legs retreated, retracted into their bodies. So this was their mood of ecstasy. And they developed a fantastic smile, large eyes. Seeing these transformations in Krishna and Balaram, Subhadra also became static and assumed a similar form. Thus, by hearing Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Krishna and Balaram with Subhadra in between displayed their static forms of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. So this is how they came. So this is Krishna in the form of Jagannath is the static personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Static. So when we see Jagannath, it means we're seeing the ecstasy of the Lord. Because he was listening to the pastimes, his own pastimes, as spoken by Rohini to the Dwakadish devotees. Krishna's birthday is Janmashtami in the month of Bhadra, August, September. However, according to Skanda Purana, the Jesht Purnima, the full moon day of the month of May, June, is the birth of Jagannath. Yes, Riyanj?
Prabhuji, when can I tell the pastime?
Now. Go for it.
Prabhuji, can I tell some small pastimes of some devotees?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell the pastime of Jagannath.
Yes, Prabhuji, Jagannath.
Yes, go for it. Go for it.
Yes, Prabhuji, can I start now?
Yes, please.
Prabhuji, I am going to tell Jagannath devotee pastimes and Jagannath.
Okay.
So, once there lived a devotee named Bandhu Mohanty. So, he was from Jaipur and he had a poor family and he had a wife, children. They were also very poor, so they don't have any food. They were very sad. So once in Jaipur, there was in Jaipur, once it was very hot. So all villagers could not tolerate the hotness, and Bandhu Mohan and his wife and children told that we have to go from this place, otherwise we will also die due to the hotness. So one Mohanty told to his wife that I have a friend, and that friend, he is very rich and he can help us. So what they did is that let's go. And his wife asked, where is your friend? Then he told he was in Orissa, which is where Lord Jagannath really stays. So what they did is, what they did is they went to Orissa, and there they told, and Bandhu Mohanty sat beside the ocean, and his wife asked, why are you why are you sitting here? We have to go to your friend's place. Means what he told is that he only devotees can enter there. Nobody could enter. Nobody could enter his house. Means then it was none other than Jagannath. It was none other than Jagannath. It was none other than Jagannath. So he went to Jagannath, and but he got no place there. All the people pushed him, and then his wife and he was sleeping beside the beach. They were sleeping. So Bandhu Mohanty was playing, Lord Jagannath, please, Lord Jagannath, please rescue us. We are very poor and we think about you only. Please do anything. Please do and save us. Means Lord Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. Then he went into a pool. He was like a pujari. He took a form of a pujari, and so what he did is he brought prasadam from the Jagannath Puri and gave it to the so
Okay, thank you. Let me just carry
they
on.
were rescued that time.
Okay, good. Well done. Thank you. So this contradiction.
So after some time I will tell another story.
Baby, let's see how we go for. No, we're going to run out of time. Let me just quickly do this now. The Jyeshtha Purnima is the time when Krishna appeared in the form of Jagannath. With big dilated eyes and shrunken limbs. This is known as Mahabhav Prakash. So this is the ecstatic form of Krishna. Mahabhav means the highest ecstasy. Prakash means the manifestation. So Jagannath is literally the highest ecstatic form of Krishna. Jagannath is the embodiment of Krishna's pangs of separation from the residents of Vrindavan, particularly Radha and Yashoda Mai. So there's a wonderful pastime with Narad Muni here as well. Narad Muni inadvertently witnessed Krishna's transformation to Jagannath, and he prayed to the Lord to appear like this again. Now, although the Lord is not obliged to anybody, he does reciprocate with his devotees and fulfills their desires. So in the Garga Samhita, Krishna states, I am full, all the epics in one, yet I surrender to the wishes of my devotee and come in whatever form he wants. So just as Krishna appeared as Nilamadhav to satisfy Vishwavasu, he appeared in the deity form as Jagannath and resides in Puri to satisfy the desire of Narad. Since Krishna is not different from his body, his internal failing showed externally. Thus, he assumed the form of Jagannath. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever he would be in front of Jagannath, he would be in ecstasy. Tears would flow in his eyes, and sometimes he would faint. So, a passage in the Vedas also mentions that the Lord has no hands or feet. And of course, the impersonalists think that he doesn't have a spiritual body, he has a material body. So they denied the Lord's personal existence. So Jagannath's appearance proves that he's a person, unlike any other, and he can still bestow blessings and accept offerings of love, even without hands and feet. So then Narad Muni said to the king that Krishna fulfilled his promise that he would come in this form. So don't worry, Krishna, Narad Muni said to Indradumna Maharaj, it's not your fault. It's my fault. I wanted the Lord to come like this. Narad announced that his father, Lord Brahma, would soon arrive to install the deity of Jagannath. And the chief priest said that the deity of Jagannath, along with Baladev, Subhadra, should be painted and dressed and be prepared for the installation ceremony by Lord Brahma. So this is the beautiful temple of Lord Jagannath, magnificent temple. It's another view, closer view, especially of the chakra. And then we have our friends there changing the flag.
And the chakra has the sun and the moon there.
Say that again.
The chakra has the sun and the moon.
Where? Within it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that's the pastime of Lord Jagannath. Any comments? Any questions? Okay. Lord Jagannath ki Jai Krishna. Go ahead, Sana.
I just see Om, London Institute of Vedic Education.
Oh, yeah. Do you not see us? Are we not
No.
there? Oh, hang on. Okay, wait a second. Now you can see us.
That's because the video. Okay.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So, yes, Hare Krishna. Did you want to ask something?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Maybe this katha. When happened this is it in the Kali Yuga or in the
No,
Yuga
Satya
before?
Yuga. Happened in the Satya Yuga. Is that right? Happened when King Indradumna was
It was
there.
in Satyug, but then it was in Kali Yuga when Jagannath appeared. So Jagannath is the Lord in Kali Yuga. Dwarpa you have Krishna, Treta you have Ram, like that. So Jagannath is the Lord in Kali Yuga.
It's eternal form.
Yeah.
He appeared.
Yeah.
Way before. This is his internal form. When he is in ecstasy, he is like this.
Okay.
So this is the eternal form of the Lord.
Narad Muni saw him in Dwarpa Yuga when he went to Dwarka.
But if you think how Lakshmi Devi predicted that after the 50 years of Brahma are over, Nilamata will go away and Jagannath will come. So this is an eternal form.
It is an eternal form, but he wasn't seen like.
Okay. No, I was wondering, so many nice things. Such a deep katha, So I was wondering when, in which yuga this happened. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Can anybody hear us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, good. All right, so let's go.